Do you fear your twin flame union won't even happen? Are you bombarded with doubts and fears, questioning, is this even real? Are they even your twin flame? Are you going crazy? As we're climbing this mountain, as we're doing the inner work, it can feel like this endless journey. We do wonder, is it even possible? But those doubts are coming from our wounds, and it's only in overcoming those wounds and those doubts can we get to a place where things start to actually feel hopeful, feel possible. My name is Angela Cleary. I'm a feminine empowerment coach. I specialise in healing after narcissistic abuse, and I also offer twin flame and spiritual guidance. This is the thing, like, and I know this only too well. It's like we're in this constant, I call it the big butt energy. It's like literally we're like, oh, I'm so excited, and we're manifesting union, yeah, and I'm doing all the healing, but this big butt comes in, and you're like, out. Like this is the total opposite of what manifestation should look like. We should be going, I believe, I feel, I'm grateful as if it's already mine. But we end up butting it. Like we literally go, but is it even real? Am I wrong? Am I down? So like literally we could be in this high energy of like hopeful, excited, moving towards union. And then all of a sudden it's like all these buts come in and you're like, oh my God, like it's never going to happen. Do they even love me? And this happened. I'm in this really bipolar energy the last couple of days. It's actually probably the last week or so. Do you know what I mean? I'm literally in, I'm good, I'm surrendered, I'm feeling good, I'm healing my wounds really deeply. But, you know what I mean? Like literally out of nowhere, I'm getting bombarded with feelings of doubt, insecurity, unworthiness, reminded of how he treated me, reminded of how he more or less said I was a worthless piece of shit and I wasn't worth his time. Do you know, all this stuff comes back in and you're like, it's never going to work. It's never going to happen. Am I going to be constantly healing to get nowhere? And it's like climbing up that mountain. I've said this before. It's climbing up that mountain and there's clouds over the peak. And you keep climbing and you keep climbing and you keep climbing. And you're like you're kind of questioning to yourself, is there even a fucking peak? Am I going to be bloody black and blue crawling on my knees forever? And there is no such thing as union. This comes in, like we do have those severe doubts going, is it all for nothing? And it's never all for nothing, because the main objective of the twin flame journey is healing your fucking shit. It's you. You're the main objective of twin flame journey, not union. So like we have to get to a sovereign state of being where we've healed our inner wounds and we love ourselves so unconditionally and we are so accepting of or even detached of the outcome that we're okay whether it happens or it doesn't. That's the main objective. But how do we get there? How do we get to the place of complete and utter blind faith, we'll call it? And this has happened a couple of times over the last couple of days. Between the bipolar. Like in 1 minute I'm like literally going, I'm so sad. It's like, oh my God, like how he treated me. And it's like, oh, I feel shitty again. And then I'm all of a sudden going, do you know the feeling you get? I call it the ecstasy feeling. It's like when you feel the love, the rush of love from your twin flame, it is like a feeling of ecstasy going through your body. So if anyone has ever actually taken MDMA or ecstasy, you know what I'm talking about. Do you know what I mean? Like it's literally like a rush of ecstasy through your body. And that to me is love. It's the rush of love through your whole body. And that feeling comes in when you completely surrender. And you just know, and it's like, like when you're still out of heal, right? You can get these tiny moments of what if they come back and what if, like, normally we're like thinking, what if they come back and they treat me the way they did? And then you're all negative and you go into this fucking spiral of they're never going to fucking change. But then there's some moments throughout the journey that you'll start kind of going, oh, what if they come back tomorrow and it's all okay? And then you go, oh, I'm not even ready, I'm so scared. Do you know what I mean? So like throughout the up and down part of the journey, it does be like, you're not ready when you literally kind of go, oh, I'm so excited. And it's like, what if they knocked on the door tomorrow? Jesus, I'm not ready. I'm not ready to share my life. And that was me, like initially. I was like so independent and it's like, I'm never sharing my life with anyone. Like I even used to joke before I met my twin flame, or before I even realised it was a twin flame. I was like, if I had anyone in my life again, he'd be living in the shed because I'm not letting anyone into my home. But since I met my twin flame, I'm actually, I want to share my life again. Do you know what I mean? But like initially, I'd be like, I'm so fucking ready and I'd be buzzing and I'd be feeling all the high energies and that high ecstasy energy. And then all of a sudden I'd be like, what if it happened tomorrow? what if it did happen tomorrow? I'd be like, oh Jesus, oh no, I can't do that. Oh my God, it's too scary. Do you know what I mean? But like lately, like only in the last couple of days, literally in the last couple of days, as I said, I've been going through those lows of reminded of, you know, what we went through and what he said or didn't say. And then I've been going through these complete and utter ecstatic moments where I'm like, this is happening. This is real. He's coming back. And I'm like, union is coming. And I'm like literally in this energy of complete blind faith. And I'm like, where is that coming from? Like literally 5 minutes ago, I was in the energy of, you know, pain and unworthiness and, you know, sadness. And it's just like how he treated me. Will he ever come back the right way? And then I was like, you have to flip the switch. Like if we're sitting there going, like, you know, if you expectation creates reality. So if you expect your twin flame to be like, you know, avoidant and, you know, ghosting and all that kind of stuff. So like you're sitting there kind of going, when they come back, he's going to treat me the same way. And you're actually having conversations with them in your head of how they're going to treat you badly. That's going to happen. But if you start having those other conversations where you're like imagining it actually really happening, really like, you know, union energy, like that's going to happen as well. And it's like, what I noticed this week is I'm healing my shame wound and my self-disgust wound and my unworthiness wound. It's the same fucking thing. They're all intertwined. And literally, I had a hypnosis on it last week and I'm unearthing it this week. And I was sitting here in my trigger mode, angry with him for shunning me and shaming me and effectively treating me like his dirty little secret and he doesn't want to share me with his family and friends because I'm so different. That's the energy that came in and I was angry with him. Do you know what I mean? And then I was like, but previous to that, a little bit early on in the morning, I was after working through some of my shame wound and looking back at my past and releasing it and feeling okay with it. And I was like, that's interconnected. And it's just like, I'm actually doing, like, you know, because obviously we're doing the work, right? But sometimes when we're doing the inner work, we kind of lose trust in everything. We lose faith in them, but we lose faith in ourselves. Because sometimes we don't see tangible proof of our inner work. Sometimes we do. Do you know what I mean? Like, you know, you're going through the inner work, you're not as triggered as you used to be, or you're going through a purge and then you might be better in some ways or another. But I don't know what it was, but this week, like for the last while, because I had another kind of, we call it a mini relapse in the month of March, like my heart was broken again, like, do you know what I mean? Because of his behavior or what he said. And I went through a really dark period and I was like, you know, hopeless energy again. But I came out of that and I'm back in sovereign mode. But I'm going through these ups and downs for the last month. And I'm actually, it's only in the last week or two that I'm actually seeing, I'm connecting more dots. My intuition is coming on more. And that's another sign union is coming further. Because like I was in this, you know, when you're in the energy of darkness, the dark night of the soul, really kind of, I call it, it's like brain fog energy. It's like your intuition isn't on point. You're not able to trust your intuition. Like I was watching tarot videos to make me believe, but I wasn't trusting my intuition. I'm not watching tarot videos anymore. But my intuition is coming back online. I'm starting to trust it. So like I'm starting to, what's the word? Dissect things more, if you get me. So now I like interconnect things as well. What I mean is like before I was in my cloudy energy, as we'll call it, I was able to kind of go, this means this means this and this joins together, this is because of this and this is because of this. Do you know what I mean? Everything I could spot it. I was really hyper aware. But I went into an energy of not seeing the dots, if you get me. Not seeing where everything was joining. Not believing in it. And this is the lack of faith. It's not actually that your intuition has gone to sleep. But you start to feel so doubtful about things that you don't trust your intuition. You don't trust your inner guidance. And you're seeing, I've said this before, you know, I've seen a meme. It's like, show me a sign, universe. And then they show you a sign. It's like, I don't believe that. I'm going to wait for a signier sign. Like you're getting all these signs and you're doing all the inner work. But yet you're effectively sitting there going, nothing is changing. Nothing is happening. I feel sad. So it's like you're in this bubble of trauma again, and you're like, literally, you don't see the wood for the trees, and you just think nothing is changing. It's like you can't see the peak of the mountain. But when you come out of that, when you start to actually get closer to union, it's like that bubble comes off. It's like the blinkers come off. You start to see the top of the mountain and you're like, I can see everything is matching here. You can actually connect this to this. And it's like everything is louder in a sense. Like I connected my shame wound to my trigger in regards to me giving out to my twin the other day. And I was like, me healing my shame wound means that he won't treat me like that anymore. And that's it. Like, this is it. If you have no self-respect, if you have no worthiness, if you don't see that you're good enough, that's, you know, your twin flame feels that. But like, you know, if you expect respect from somebody, you need to start respecting yourself first. So if you don't start to see yourself as this amazing, amazing, beautiful person that you are, your twin flame isn't going to see that either. And when you're in that bubble of cloudiness, we'll call it, not only are you not trusting outside of yourself, your intuition and whatever, you're not trusting inside yourself either. You're not trusting you. And it comes to the stage where you start to trust yourself. Trust what's within you, and then you're like, you know, even when you're in that bubble as well, it's like your telepathic connection to your twin flame is off as well. So it's like, are they even there? Am I wrong? What's going on? And when it's like all of that lifts off, you're still going through the work. There's still some intense healing that you're doing, but you're like seeing it. It's like, I see it now. It's like, you know, when you're in the dark night of the soul, you're in this dark tunnel and there's no light at the end of the tunnel. It's there, but you just can't fucking see it. And you don't see it until you start doing some in-depth work. So for a period, I think, and I've heard this before, it's always darkest before the dawn, obviously. But like, I've heard this before, that just before union happens, there's going to be a massive fuck up. I would call it a fuck up. Like, it's just completely, everything goes to shit. You think it's over, you think you've lost them, and you end up back in this really low energy, where the light at the end of the tunnel just disappears. And you end up in the energy of, I don't even know if I believe this anymore. Is it ever going to happen? I'm healing over and over again and nothing is changing. And everything was changing, but you were just in this darkness, this bubble that you just didn't see outside it. Whereas when you start to, when you get this unblock, this aha moment, this breakthrough, it's literally like, you're opening your eyes again and you finally actually see the top of the mountain and you see union clearly. It's just there. It's like, oh my God, it was there all along, but I didn't fucking see it. And it goes from being frustrating and fucked up and just sad all the time to being kind of really cool. Like, I can't even explain it. Because I've met my twin flame 2 years ago. And I ended up going through massive, massive healings over the last couple of years. So I never